My name's Lizzie Reid. I am the pattern maker at Sterling Cutting. Yeah, so I get lots of clients coming in, all kinds of different jobs. There'll be jobs from just digitising and grading, or even just digitising so that they can get it cut by the computerised cutting. And sometimes it'll be a job starting straight from scratch, so they'll give you some specs and you've just got to go for it and hope it turns out the first time, which sometimes it does. Yeah. I got the job here through Fashion Tech. I was doing work experience at the end of my last year there, and I just didn't leave. Just stayed on, and they kept me coming back, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, so it was a bonus. My interest in fashion would have started when I would have been like maybe 10. One of my older sisters, she has also been into fashion, and she was always sewing at home, and so she taught me to sew, and then just was always making a few things here and there. And then at high school I was doing textiles and design, did that until year 13. And then when I left school, I wanted to continue with fashion. I did half a year at AUT, but unfortunately I was going through a bit of a rough patch. I'd had my grandmother die and things weren't really working out for me there. So I left, and I was gonna start another field. I was gonna do nutrition, but I think I found that my heart really just does lie within the fashion industry, and I really, really do love it. So I went to Fashion Tech, and that was the best decision I've ever made. My initial connection with Fashion Tech was my first interview. I went in to learn more about what was happening at the course and how things worked. It was very personal, and felt you could really connect with the people that were there. Whereas I think another place that I had applied for a few years ago, you'd bring in your CV and your portfolio of work you'd done, and you just kind of felt like you were being judged the whole time. But yeah, Fashion Tech made it really easy. They're really friendly, very helpful, could answer any questions, and going in and meeting the students that were there, it just gives you a really good insight into what you're getting into, and it's a really, really positive place. I absolutely loved Fashion Tech. The classroom environment I found really, really worked for me. And just having your own time to get things done, and it taught me a lot about myself and how I can progress with myself as well as with my skills. And it taught me a lot of things like time management, and also them throwing me out into the industry, making you do work experience. It was a bit nerve-wracking at the start, but I think as soon as you get to work experience, it's such a breeze and you have a good time. And I think that really helped, was having that work experience. Yeah. Work experience at Fashion Tech was absolutely crucial. At first it was pretty nerve-wracking getting out there, but it is a really good time. You learn so much, a vast variety of things, especially the last work experience that I had, I ended up getting a job out of, so that was fantastic. But I think that was one of the most important things that we did at Fashion Tech, was getting out there, learning about what the real world is like. Because if you're just doing it in theory, you're never really going to learn. Yeah, so I found that was really, really exciting and important to get out there, meet people. Meeting people was a big thing, getting connections, and just the experience, the whole round experience, and getting pushed out there and stepping out of your comfort zone. It is really, really important. I know that everyone really, really enjoys all the partnerships that we have with different companies. My biggest experience would have been the Kleenex Cottonelle competition. That was a lot of fun. We learned so much in that time, and yeah, it's just a really good way of learning in a different kind of way in a competition, or even just the fact that you've got to really push for the deadline and get something done. You've got something to be proud of. Also the exposure that we get, just as the student, we get a lot of exposure, and Fashion Tech getting a lot of exposure, meaning that people are going to recognise Fashion Tech and they're going to want to hire us as an employee. My biggest years of personal growth were at Fashion Tech. I changed so much for the better. I became more confident, more sure of myself, and just, I think, gaining all those skills and stuff, all the ability to do things and know that you've got the qualifications behind you. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. I also grew in the way that I can communicate with others. I think the learning environment was really good. Learning to work as a group was really important, because when we're out there in the industry, there's times where you are going to be working in a group and you've got to learn to work with other people. But yeah, I had a lot of personal growth while I was at Fashion Tech. I'd always recommend someone that is wanting to go into the fashion industry to start at Fashion Tech. I've known from personal experience of starting somewhere else that you don't get the really solid base background that you need. Like, we learn how to sew perfectly, how to pattern make. The basics of pattern making is crucial to any part of the fashion industry. If you don't know how a garment goes together, you're not really going to do very well. And the learning environment I found was a very positive place to be. You're not being judged, yet they still push you to reach your potential. Dance studios, and I don't know where I'm going to end up, and I think that's the excitement about it. You don't know, and I know deep down inside that I'm on a good track. I'm on a really, really good track at the moment. I've been here maybe 10 months now. And it has been so exciting. I've learned so much in the time that I've been here, and who knows where I'll end up, but I know that it's going to be somewhere good.